Don't let us go there. Don't lead yourself into temptation. The same thing with their big push. They should give proper assurances. They say one thing and do another. It's only talk government. They say women banking. Only gave 51 million. Women
Honorable
banking.
Minority Leader, your supplementary question.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. They don't keep their promises. Mr. Speaker, I want to know from the Minister of Finance.
Honorable Majority Leader. Honorable Minority, I recognize Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Minority Leader should learn to behave properly in this chamber. He should learn to behave properly in this chamber. Please, let's treat each other with respect. Please, you cannot stand here and just point accusing figure and say they don't keep their promises. This is a government that so far has kept every promise that it has made to Ghanaians. Every promise that we have made to Ghanaians, we have kept. Every promise we have kept. We said we will appoint not more than 60 ministers. We have done so. We said we will do that. We said we are going to abolish taxes. We have abolished the taxes. Every single thing that we've said we will do, we are doing. Go out there and conduct a survey. Every Ghanaian you ask say that they have confidence in John Dramani Mahama and the government, and that they are happy because they have seen that this is a government that keeps its promises. So you cannot stand here and just throw your fingers and then point at us and say we don't keep our promises. The budget has just been brought. We have not yet even considered it. We have not yet even approved it for us to implement our promises. You cannot always stand up and talk as if you are more than anybody in this chamber. Make this your last time. Make this your last time.
Ciudadno.
Police barracks. The Boku is burning. Boku is for normal police barracks. Police barracks, the Boku unit. Boku for now Bescata police barracks. Ashino. Charlie.
The government to step up its efforts in ensuring that fugitives in Boku are apprehended and brought to justice. This is crucial for upholding the rule of law and maintaining the safety and security of the residents. Let us embrace this team wholeheartedly and work towards a future where tribal cohesion and unity are cherished values that guide our interaction and shape our shared destiny. Before I conclude, I will leave you with a quotation from the Holy Quran. Hold just to the rope of God all together, and be not be divided. Surah Al-Amr, section 103. In conclusion, I would like to urge the people of Boku and its surrounding areas to accept peace for the overall development of the region. It is essential that all members of the community come together to foster a harmonious environment where progress and prosperity can thrive. I thank you so much.
Thank you. As I saw Gamamui, I saw that man once I said it's a mosque. And it's trouble. The way you be among the better. Ama, the new papa, I was watching her.
Oh, Ciuberno.
This is Boku. This is happening in the Boku. They are burning the police barracks at Boku. This is it. See what Boku are doing. Huh.
Police barracks. The Boku is burning. Boku is for normal police barracks. Police barracks, the Boku unit. Boku for now Bescata police barracks. Ashino. Charlie.
This is Boku. This is happening in the Boku. They are burning the police barracks at Boku. This is it. See what Boku are doing. Huh.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before?
All right, a very good morning to you and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and by the directive principles of state policy, I say we always have to meet and discuss the issues of the country. Today is the 14th of April, 2025. Let's go through the headlines of the newspapers now. And the start of today, unusually, with the Ghanaian Times. It says, work to transform GRA into model of excellence. VIP. Help revamp ailing New Times Corporation, GCGL. ICU urges government. SuperSem moves to cure shortages, reliance on imported clinker for cement, invests $100 million in new plants. Food security job creation, Feed Ghana program takes off. Schools, prisons, households to participate. President. The Daily Guide. SuperSem CBI $100 million technology to address cement shortage. Dr. Nyama appointed AIES director. Also, Reroy Group ready for 24-hour economy. Boku youth fire IGP's car. Officer injured. Save judiciary from executive interference. Asefua. The New Crusading Guide. 32.5 billion Ghana cedis cocoa board debt saved. Ghana's cocoa sector. Boahin Edu reveals. Titanium 123 properties fights Kofi Aban Holdings and others over land. All 18 MMDC nominees unanimously confirmed in Volta region. Mohammed's Feed Ghana program takes off. Boku conflict, we will remain neutral in our duties, IGP assures. And then the top right corner says that this generation needs to dream big, says Dr. O. The Inside newspaper, towards harnessing Ghana's vast wealth and of natural resources, follow footsteps of Botswana, Mali, Niger, and other break the poverty chain. IEA director urges Ghana or Ghanaian leaders. Fake news, minister hints of law to crack whip on spread of false information. Kenya's Communist Party Maz's leader, Buka Omole, 3 others survived another assassination attempt. Eastern Regional Minister refused allegations of fertilizer diversion in Yilo Krobo. Revolution, Worker Peasant Alliance and Chinese-style modernization, a global South perspective. The Informer, former MP in Care's party rough for flouting directives. Post-retirement contract ban. Academia not affected. Minister. Utility tariffs shoot up in May. Boku conflict, stakeholders urge collaboration to end politicization. Danboche supports Okre, boosts education fund with 350,000 Ghana cedis. The top right in commentary, a call for peace and restraints in Boku. The Inquisitor says that time for accountability. NIB probes drip. Stop press. IGP Yonu sparks anger among police personnel. Demons in MPP leadership must be removed. Professor Frimpong Boateng. Academic included from suspension of post-retirement contract. Haruna Idrisu. And then the Herald newspaper. Political protection and media blackout killing $500 million ECG containers scandal. Political protection and media blackout killing $500 million ECG containers scandal. Insider job to oust National Service Authority boss out. Widespread whistleblower alleges FDA and police cover-up in drug case. Conflicted NPP MP defends TDC land grab by Oforiatta family members. I mean, he didn't necessarily defend it. He was explaining a few things sometimes. Anyway, Tony Obing vows to deliver landmark petroleum hub project. The statesman. Mohammed's 120-day promise to combat galamsey is failing. MP supports Did he say he's combating galamsey in 120 days? Okay. MP supports in Kwawadang, #1 basic school with computers. Electricity tariff increased by 15%. Water gets 4%. Former Cocoa Board CEO defends stewardship. Boku conflict haunts Mahama. Minority demands urgent action. 32.5 billion Ghana cedis debt saved Cocoa Board sector. Edu. The custodian. Kusok residents chase out IGP. Minority tasks Mahama to end Boku conflict. Cleaning Ghana, creating jobs. The Zoom Lion story. The Daily Post. James Agaga accuses Ntumfojo of concocting the drugs and case aircraft saga. Westing and Zinma lands are stool lands, not family owned. Traditional Council refused opposition to Petroleum Hub project. Full Traditional Council supports Westing and Zinma chief and youth throw weight behind PHDC during CEO's first visit to Jomoro. MDCE nomination Etiwa East NDC executives condemn attacks on chairman. Damang Mine decision, a turning point for Ghana's resource sovereignty, Isaac Andrew Tando. Now, Economy Times. Government snubs Treasury bill rates demands despite heavy refinancing needs. U.S. tariff war. African exporters react as after gears up to subdue impact. BOG cautions commercial banks as they adjust leading rates. Yeah, we also have a new cover-up price. Okay, so Economy Times is announcing its new cover-up price, which takes effect on the 22nd of April 2025. So it's giving us five Ghana cedis. Economy Times, that's what they will be looking at. But let me quickly, come through with the Daily Graphic front page. And it says that government rejects Goldfields Damang lease renewal. They sent a notice to us. President launches Feed Ghana program to transform agric landscape. School feeding begins restructuring. 31-day arrears for caterers cleared. Business and Financial Times. Government urged to lead government urged to lead in building long-term yield curve to revive bond markets. SuperSem $100 million plan to cut clinker imports dependency. Also, let me see if I've captured this. Okay, the Daily Searchlight says that Mahama launches major program to feed Ghana and boost national food security. IGP team visits victims of Boku police youth clash. And then we also have Stephen Mokad confirmed as our winning MCE. Metro Lens, Zoom Lion, the hero or the villain in sanitation. From dumb sites to dignity. The sanitation revolution Ghana nearly forgot. And then we also have No to Ibi Bright. Tema Youth Group urges Mahama to rethink mayoral appointments. And then we have former TESCON coordinator also tries President Mahama over utility tariff hike. All right, that's it for the headlines this morning. Let's go for a break. We'll be back shortly.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Look around. Home also need a makeover. Mine clearly does. So we went to Ashroom and found the Como collection. It had everything we're looking for and more. Merchant furniture for the entire home, designed with you in mind.
Where's Como collection? Dressing up is just a breeze. Always ready with a perfect accessory.
A magic dressing mirror. One look and you're ready to face the world. Or at least the kids.
A bed perfect for young men who want
a table that turns into a treasure chest.
And finally, a sofa with this grand TV unit for family time at home.
Head over to any Ashphone store now and discover the new Como collection. Ashphone, feel it, know it.
Fire pomudi nia gobi Ghana funi aji if you say ya your local spices na ya fra dia ya sanko for natural spice me de go me jollof mu me misti wa hodoma e ma ne dance
Stanley the barbecue the go on
sanko for natural spices and one you use 100% natural said the happen
adofo mamu huge mistake sanko for natural spices
FDA
Where to get polytan?
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
No, I don't left right.
And you that's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more and ye data. Who knows? Abe, na here. Mr. Polytan kato. And you think I'm in your bed to put your number here. Oh, food to be at enjoy your craft.
Akuya bulambo kotoman. Emua.
Like that they took my eyes. Go to the distributor and you give the original Polytan company You hear the sound?
Politank. Papa Nankasa.
Ama, nansi mi jeno wo bin enko ye kwa o. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basi makura. Ama me kunu me into kwampo. Oh, you right. And you will go. Give us GC mixture and any capsules. Ah, you num boom. And what some na mo kana. E bua e ma ene meme nyina. Na ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be bua wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya na ninti sese ni oyi chokmo. Give us GC mixture and a capsule. Ashesa.
A pay for a batter, one more menu for one and Quada when you feel do me. Ashesa. Energy drink.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kelkit Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kelkits, happy smile.
Hey, pay right for who drilling.
Hey, a Japan reject for Abama and show some ye dewa. Pay reject a daromanti, if ye be a money shoe, ain't it so young crankre, a Jumako, in Swan sorry, Namope and should did you may be a dear, make out for pay reject the amount, any pay reject, Woma quadri our boho drilling, water purification, any bibiada a fat in shoe, Netie, pay reject in Kwane boho drilling company, what two so mawa. Was sound super a brano, a babesha sending sonity, and Sayo, one sounds with the Shishasun Kokra, a Bronswa, Yede Babe Bo, a Mosika Sempiano Alcoye. Hey, won't pay way now per day. With them, call them now. Flying, I was 0240 217253 0240 217253. Pay right GH, since so young Quadia, and ye Maunkwa.
Attention all farmers, are you ready to take your crops to the next level? Introducing 3 effective organic composts that will revolutionize your farming practices. ACAP, KCAP and IRECOP brings to you the ultimate solution for your fertilizer needs. Introducing the ACAP Grade A, KCAP Equiafua Jinkwa and the IRECOP with cocoa blends, palm blend and mulch. These are made from locally sourced municipal solid waste, and these are the perfect choice for sustainable farming. Join the organic revolution today. Boost your crop yield, improve soil health, and support sustainable farming practices. Choose ACAP, KCAP, and ARICOP organic compost for a greener and bountiful harvest. For your purchase and more information, call the numbers on your screen. Our products are endorsed by Cocoa Board, Planting for Food and Jobs, and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture.
The complementary roles of individuals, organizations, and the government in national security is of critical importance. I urge our citizens in discharging this complementary duty of helping to safeguard our security not to behave like the shepherd boy in the famous fable who cried, "Wolf, wolf," when there was no wolf. If we behave like that boy, either for partisan or parochial interests, we distract the attention of our security services from focusing on their critical job of keeping us safe. Let us support our security services and the Ghana Armed Forces with information that is useful and intelligence that is helpful, that will advance their work rather than retrogress it. Let me reiterate that we will take all allegations of crime seriously and trigger our security service investigative machinery to go after criminals, no matter who they are. But let me state emphatically also that we do not have the resources and time to engage in any game of smoke and mirrors. The Ghana Armed Forces is engaged in several theaters to maintain peace and security in our nation. One major flashpoint continues to be the Boku area. Only 2 days ago, an incident in a marketplace triggered an unfortunate loss of lives and criminal vandalism of property. I wish to emphasize that nobody gains from this situation of conflict and insecurity. We have triggered the Otumfo mediation process, which saw all stakeholders participate in discussions in Kumasi on a roadmap towards peace. I'm assured by the Asantehene that the process will resume next week when he returns from his brief visit abroad. Congratulations to our armed forces for the sacrifices you have made.
All right, welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. And this morning we are privileged to have with us Lara Tomosa Saka, who is a member of the MPP communications team. And also, Gabriela Tete is the NDC Central Regional Communications Director, who has joined us also in the studio. Sorry, Communications Officer. Sorry about that. All right, you're welcome. Gabriela, it's been a while. Gabriela, how are you?
It's just been some 3 or 4 weeks. She's happy to see me. Somebody told me she's my best friend when I sent the flyer. I said, you have no idea.
Very interestingly, one of my brothers said I shouldn't mention his name, but he really admires you. And I told him, you don't know who you're admiring.
That's why. But she's a nice person, Sha.
Looks like we hold different views of each other.
In secret. Anyway, Gabriela, you're welcome. Very welcome. I hope you're fine. Where have you been? Were you in the region the whole time?
In between.
Okay.
Here and there.
Lara too. You're welcome as well.
Thank you.
And how are you doing?
I'm good.
How are you doing out of office? Someone actually also asked me to ask you.
What am I doing
left
out of office?
Postal Courier Services Regulatory Commission. What have you been doing?
Maybe you should ask my children. My children say these days one of my hobbies is sleeping.
Oh, so you've been sleeping the
Oh,
whole
yes.
time?
I'm resting.
You didn't hear what this man said? Magdan.
That's what?
Hey, you are sleeping money away. Oh.
Health is wealth.
Hey.
I haven't slept in a long while. Let me recuperate.
For you know, she prepared a very good pension on her way out of Coastal. What's like Postal? Right. It sounds like Coastal.
Yes, ask her if she ever gathered courage to visit me in my office. And ask those who came there.
You come, where was your office?
Why didn't you come there?
But I don't know where it was.
And go and ask your people why they are hiding.
There's no money under the table.
Why they are avoiding that
there's
place.
No money under the table. There's no money under the table in the office.
Go and ask the current minister. He will tell you that's the Siberia of the ministry. I mean, that's just on a lighter note.
And your political godmother said to you.
Hey, madam, please. Let's
So 8 years you were sitting in the Siberia.
Annie,
and that's such a powerful woman.
I wasn't there for 8 years, please.
I don't even know your political godmother.
But that's why I tell you. That's why I told my brother that you don't know the person you are admiring.
Should we send her
her mischief is beyond
it's out of the roof.
Yes, but Annie, I mean, on a more serious note, I was avoiding raising any public comments on an issue that has been going on. I've had since I think Wednesday evening till even yesterday. I've had very close family and friends who have been extremely worried because the news out there is that I've been sued for, is it 10 million?
Oh, for
I think you also pardon, comments made on this platform. And I mean, with the job that we do, some of these things come up. But when there's a deliberate attempt to malign someone, I even wouldn't be happy about. And being on this set for over the years, speaking for my party passionately, I mean, anybody who is objective knows that I don't come out to malign people. And that is not the nature of the New Patriotic Party that I belong to. So even before I go into what I want to say, just indulge me to read a story from Class FM online. And I'm reading it from the other portals that published it. But I'm reading it from Class FM online for obvious reasons. We all know who the owner of Class FM is. And this has nothing to do with the owner of Class FM. Let me clarify that because before I have another suit on my head.
But you're contradicting yourself.
So
you
this is
we
14.
All know the owner
no,
of
that's what I'm saying. So when I finish reading it,
but this has
no, that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with it, but for obvious reasons. When there's something about the MPP, I believe that when Netu or Oman FM or Wuntumi or any radio station or TV station deemed to be affiliated to the MPP, you swallow it hook, line, and sinker.
Due to ownership.
Due to ownership, okay. Right? And what they stand for.
Okay.
You are tempted to swallow it hook, line, and sinker. So let me read this, and I'm reading from the story is still online, and
but some media houses can be owned by a political.
It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that let me just because they went into details too, probably because of their.
Okay, that's a better reason.
And the date on it is Monday, 14th April. So the story is still online. Anybody watching us who wants to today, it's still on. You can go Class FM online. NIB bus 150 million cocaine on Takoradi Cape Coast Highway. That's the caption. And it was published on March 5th, 2025. So I read. A vehicle loaded with about 120 slabs of cocaine with a street value of $150 million has been seized by the National Intelligence Bureau. Information gathered reveals. Sources indicate that on 4th March 2025, at about 4:30 p.m., 16:30 hours, a hog van truck carrying about 120 slabs of cocaine with a street value of about $150 million was arrested by the National Intelligence Bureau, formerly Bureau of National Investigations, BNI, on the Takoradi Cape Coast Highway. The driver in charge of the hog van truck upon interrogation mentioned one Charles Hagan, also known as Panya, a former NDC parliamentary candidate for 2nd D in the 2020 elections as the owner of the products. Subsequently, Hagan was picked up by the Bureau but has been allegedly left off the hook due to his political inclination to the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Attempts are being made by the top echelon and apparatchiks of NDC to sweep it under the carpet. Sources further reveal that Charles Kipo, the NIB director, has been in constant communication with the presidency to halt investigations and free the suspects. So based on this publication, and Annie, for the current MP of 2nd D to be worried that a statement has been made with regards to drugs that is linked to him, to be worried, that should tell you that we are all worried about drugs and having the country being seen as a hub for drugs, vis-a-vis all the issues that Reverend Intim Fojo has raised. So on Monday, in the heat of the argument,
the country is not being seen as a hub for drugs.
Well, from the discussions that has been going on,
that's just a discussion.
So
that's not.
So that I mean, from the discussions that's going on. That's
yes,
what
but
I
it's
said.
a discussion, it's not a fact, because it has not been established
yet. Can you just let me
Yes, so let's not even get into
So in the
argument.
discussion, instead of mentioning, and I didn't mention a name, I said parliamentary candidate of 2nd D. But in the heat of the argument, which happens to all of us, instead of saying 2020, I said 2024. And I must put this on record, that by my upbringing, by my training, and what I believe in and stand for, I'm not above retracting and apologizing for a mistake I genuinely made.
Oh, you're not above admission?
I'm not above that, Annie.
Okay.
No human is.
I just remembered
we are
some
all
story.
not, we are all humans. We are fallible. I didn't set out to come and sit on this set and come and malign anybody. I wouldn't be happy if it's done to me. But just to say that because this is not a pleasant thing and we all don't want to be associated with it, I retract the bit about the 2024. I didn't mention a name. I said parliamentary candidate. In mentioning 2020, I said 2024. So on that note, this is not to stifle the rights of the honorable MP who are, and I've asked you, I haven't seen a summons, I haven't been served with anything. Probably, maybe now that I'm here, it will make its way to me. But this is not to stifle his rights.
If Ignite Media has been served?
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes. So I haven't been served either, but there's a lot of news that has really worried people who know what I believe in and stand for, who appreciate me and love me dearly. It's been one call after the other. It's been one message after the other. For those who think that, oh, this is an opportunity to make an example out of me, that is not my nature. So I apologize. I retract that bit about 2024, and I apologize to the MP. But like I said, this is not to influence any decision he decides to take going forward. But as a responsible citizen who is passionate, Annie, if you happen to go to where I come from, some of us do these things because we are passionate about the development in this country. We've been privileged, but where we come from, still battling with basic problems, and that is where some of us
For the
are
record, the story was published which date?
It was published on the 5th of March.
5th
of
March.
March, yes.
On
That was
Class
way after
FM.
I came here.
Okay,
because
so
we discussed it on the 7th of April.
Okay.
So most of the stories in relation to this were published on 5th March. You can do a search and you see them. I think I've seen something similar, but not detailed as this on, I think, my Joy Online, Crusading Guide. There are a few other portals that have published stories in relation to this. And it's around the same 5th March or a day or two later. So like I said, I apologize to him, and I think I've done my duty.
Right. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that you have even been able to bring yourself to that level. And also, you know, on the back of that, without necessarily belaboring the point, I would say that Ignite Media also apologizes for that platform that it offered. I mean, if you watch the show, there was a bit of back and forth between you and I. And so...
No, between you and... It was 2 against 1 as always. Between you and I and Shamima.
No. In terms of that claim.
Okay.
The claim of the MP.
Oh, okay. Oh, I expressed my sentiment when I was asking you if you received the summons, because I can't go saying anything publicly.
Okay.
And so, I have people that sent me those. So you were the first person who sent me was it a Sase online story? Yeah. And you know, usually when these things are published, the reef is in it and all that. Asase, then I think he granted an interview on, then I saw a story that he was vowing, I saw another story that he was threatening. So it was all over the place. That's why I kept asking you if you've been served. Because if I'm going to speak to a lawyer, obviously you can't go.
You need to know what the suit contains. Yeah. Anyway, so on that note, we also apologize using the Ignite Media platform. There's no malice intended, you know, to run the MP down. As I sit here, it will shock a lot of you that I have never spoken with that MP before. A lot of you, you know, have very funny ideas. Even Larato has some funny ideas, you know.
And never spoken
with the MP before. But we want to openly, I shouldn't go there.
Because your responses to it were pointing to all kinds of directions, but let's leave it there.
Oh,
We've done what every responsible citizen will do, and every responsible institution will do.
Okay.
So let's see what.
So apologies to the member of Parliament for secondly. Really, no malice intended. Anyway,
if I may add to it.
Okay.
I wasn't here. I don't recall if I watched Monday's show, so I can't get into specifics and your apology and stuff, but I want to make a correction that the narrative that the NPP is pushing out with all this cocaine bust and stuff, they're trying to project a certain image on this country. And I want to tell the NPP that as much as you're allowed to do politics, sometimes when you bastardize the country and you call us a cocaine hub, you don't destroy the image of the NDC and the government. You destroy your image as NPP because you are equally partakers in this democracy. If you go and they call Ghana a cocaine hub, when you go out there, when people mention countries like Ecuador, Venezuela, and what Puerto Rico and what they are doing with this whole drug menace, do they differentiate between the political parties that are there? They don't. So this narrative that they are pushing out with the cocaine hub and trying to project this image onto the government, stop it, stop it, stop it. It is archaic. Stop it. It doesn't benefit anybody.
But Annie, just a quick one. I don't disagree with what she's saying because Ghana is Ghana. When we are traveling, they don't have different passports for any of us. But I also think that in the spirit of what she's saying, like all these stories flying around with allegations and assertions being made with reference to state institutions. I think that if the state institutions also come and update the country, I think it will bring a closure to some of these things and put rest to some, because nobody is happy hearing those things. You get it? I mean, it's not like something, we can do our politics. When we came here earlier, I was telling her that, it looks like they are doing a U-turn and everything, and she was taking me on and saying that, but we can do all those things in terms of policy direction and all that. But when it comes to these things that affect, I think our security agencies and institutions in charge need to keep us updated, just as His Excellency the President said at his inauguration. You keep us up to speed, you keep us updated on all happenings in this country. And I think these institutions must also take a cue from the spirit of the inaugural speech of the President.
Okay. And whilst at that, let me also add this, that if you claim that you have proof that cocaine was busted anywhere, Reverend Iti Fojo, who has been on this platform and jumping from radio station and TV station to push the same narrative, can do well to now provide the evidence of what his claims are to the security agency so we can make progress. Because since April 1st, that he first came out with that commentary, people are now laughing at him. He's from my region. He's a minority in my region. In fact, I promised that I was going to get him out of office. I don't know how it didn't even happen in Asin South, but that's a different conversation. People are now making a joke of him. So if he has evidence, he should bring it out. If he knows that he sent us on a wild goose chase, he should apologize to the country for putting out false information, and then we all move on.
I think at this point, what I'm trying to do is to even avoid this conversation completely. But for the apology that had to be rendered, yes. However, I'm sure it was an April Fool.
But provide evidence and you have no evidence. Everywhere you go, he's asked, do you have evidence? You have no evidence.
At this point, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, when he issued a statement on his social media platform, said that they take every allegation seriously. He mentioned state institutions that must take charge of such allegations. And I think such state institutions today should just take charge.
Do we have any updates from them? Do we have any updates from them?
Well, not
apart
yet.
From the way they tried to arrest the Honorable Reverend Tim Kojo. Is there any other update with regard to the substance?
If there's any update yet, I do not have that update. But for now, after his invitation and what he has to provide, there's been a back and forth of, well, I have a right of, providing evidence or not providing evidence, that kind of, a lot of back and forth. I think that the institutions just must take charge and let us know if this is causing fear and panic and just, fake alarm, you know what to do. so that the media will just not be used anyhow, because every story we are chasing, you know, it's sometimes. I think that we've given Reverend Ntimfojo enough space to give us evidence, and that is good enough. So for now, the state institutions must, you know, deal with the matter and give us feedback, else we will just come to you for that feedback. Now, let's focus on one issue that has hit the country, and I think is, it opens our eyes to probably a lot of things happening within the secondary schools that we are playing with or we're toying with. And that has to do with the gunshots that happened in the SDA school in Ashanti region, injuring one student who is almost losing her sight. And I mean 2 eyes, not even one, 2 of them because of that accident. So the story I'm reading from my journal, I said a second-year student shot by classmates at Adas, Kumasi. A female student of the Adventist Senior High School in Kumasi has sustained severe injuries after being shot in the head by a colleague in class on Friday morning. The year 2 student was rushed to Komfanochi Teaching Hospital upon referral from the Kwadaso SDA Hospital. The suspect, who is in same class with the victim, was arrested by Swami District Police. Information available to the media indicates that the suspects brandished a pistol after the morning lesson in class. He pulled the trigger after some students who saw the gun on him doubted if it was real loaded pistol. So, all right, so on your screen is a young girl who is almost losing her sight. To be honest, I actually decided to, you know, highlight or put some attention to this development, so that if there is any of you with financial strength to support this family, we'll be so grateful, because the future of this lady is hanging in the balance as we speak, just because of one irresponsible act of another student. You're taking the future of another away. I'm not sure how, should it happen that she goes blind, this is going to, you know, following this incident, there were some releases. I'll deal with the school first, and then we'll deal with what the police also said. The school released a statement. I'm sure it will be hoisted on the screen, and then you can. It says that brief reports on shooting incident in Adventist Senior High School, Bantama, Kumasi. Bernard Amwabing of 2A10, that is the culprit, took exit home on March 18, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. to Kronum on the purpose of medical treatment, and was to return to school, and the school writing return back. A school that's writing return back, the school authority writing return back. How can you even take care of our children? Return to school on March, and I will not read that, but return to school on March 20, 2025. He overstayed and did not return to school on the said date as a boarding student, but he has been attending school as a day student without giving notice to the school's authorities or the house master for consideration. The incident happened today, 4th April 2025, at 9:30 a.m. when the school was on break. That's the first break. Bernard Amwabing took a gun from the school bag in the class and threatened to shoot his colleague students. Per investigation from the other students in his class, one male student indicated that Bernard Amwabing showed him the gun. He pointed the gun at him, Samuel Menu. Samuel ran out of fear, hit the gun to the other direction, and it triggered and hit the face of Susie Pinaman, who is also 2A10, and she started bleeding profusely. It was then reported to the school's authorities. Action. The shooting incident was reported to the police at the Swami District Police Headquarters, and quickly the police made their way to the school to arrest, and the arrest was made. The victim, Susie Pinamang, was taken to the Kwadaso SDA hospital, then referred to Komfanoche Teaching Hospital in Kumasi for treatment. Conclusion, we will give the status of the issue on Monday for onward scrutiny. Grace Kafui Ayi, Miss Headmistress, and is copied to Regional Manager, SDA Schools, Kumasi. So that's the statement that was released. Okay, if you can call, we are scheduled to speak with the brother, so kindly call the brother for us, and then we speak with him. But in the meantime, let me read the police report. The police also says that, apologies, let me just try and get the police statement. Oh, you want copies of the statement? The police statement. Please, I'll send them to you. I'll send them to you right away. Let me just finish reading this. Okay. The police statement is quite detailed. Let's see. Okay. So the police says that Ashanti Regional Police Command launched investigation into shooting incident at Adventist Senior High School, Kumasi. The Ashanti Regional Police Command has initiated an investigation into shooting incidents that occurred at the Adventist Senior High School on Friday, April 4, 2025 at about 12 p.m. Preliminary investigation revealed that 16-year-old second-year student's name withheld brought a locally manufactured pistol loaded with 1 BB ammunition to school. Now, the students allegedly attempted to show the firearm to his classmate during the exchange of firearm, accidentally discharged, hitting another student. So all names of those involved are being withheld. So remember that the school actually put out their names, but the police maybe understand this professional angle better. So the injured student has been treated at Komfanoche Teaching Hospital, and it's currently in a stable condition. The juvenile suspect has been arrested, and the empty cartridge has been recovered and retained as evidence. During the questioning, the suspect stated that he took the weapon from his father's bedroom without his father's knowledge. Authorities are actively working to locate and arrest the father to assist with the investigation. All right, so Godwin Ahianyo, Deputy Superintendent of Police Public Affairs, also signed a statement. All right. So, you know, on the face of whatever happened, this is just the updates that we have. There are some videos. Please don't put up the child, that's the juvenile, the one who did the shooting or who was handling the gun. Don't put out his face on the screen, unless it is blurred. Because the police actually picked him up, and there were pictures of him flying on social media, but that's social media. However, the video of the victim, for the purposes of what we want to do, we will actually put some of the video. We'll put some of the videos up there for YouTube, because some of our colleagues have gone to her to conduct interviews. She shared some views with us. In the meantime, let's go onto the phone lines and speak with Clement Kobi. Clement Kobi is the brother to the victim. And then I'll come to the guest. Clement, thank you for your time. Good morning. Hello, Clement. Clement, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I can't hear you clearly, but let me try again. If you can raise your voice a bit for me. All right. So, Clement, tell me first of all, how Susan is doing. What's exactly her condition or her situation now as we speak? All right. Let's work around it, and then we'll get back to him. But let me, engage the guests on this. Gabriel, I'll start with you.
Well, let me say a good morning to our viewers. Even though we've already started our conversation, a good morning to Lorette and a good morning to you as well. Okay, Clement, I think Clement is back. Clement, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great.
The volume is low. So.
Fantastic. Good morning to you. I was asking how Susan is doing now. What's her situation? What can you tell me?
Okay, can I speak to you, please? Can I speak to you, please?
Yeah, you can speak to you. Baby, I would know over to me a position who baby line I say o phone baby faso.
Okay, no, I say.
But yeah. Intina me bisa say Susan who to say see a situation where to say.
Namiadum yahuye Susie onuye kakra. Sisia o sisia.
The videos ni bebre na ye hu no. Otumi so sa na obi anani ye ne ya no osu situation aya na enye worse ana.
West though, but answer nisu and I soon yeah, sometimes you can't control it sometimes because once I seven bay or ama walk up and listen. There's a boy home modern say I'm teaching a red not is true. It means I know trust now. What to me I jana academy I kaka.
Okay. Incident ni see any at call hospital no. Treatments na doctors demand na almost say a day be na was say going forward because they say the omaye no why stable bleeding no ejai but neni no ehu hwe nti den no mokae
bleeding they say why stable kakra but bleeding no ejai ana still na ohu hwe still na neni no doctor akan say right eye no crowd enya de getimi ehu bibia sisia and na ehu ade and right eye left eye no and no na almost say ye boy homodin na ye hwe ya na ye get proper treatment manner e getimi ehu ade for the left eye only
enti omo advise say yemfa ne enko baby e bia abroche enko hwe no ana say omo betimi ahwe aye betua and I say no say omo beji.
Okay, omo refer ma a doctor hospital bibia ana doctor bia. Nemom no omo hu ni say omo mban say ade ndi we say no omo ntimi nkan kire plain say ade no akwa ni hu na de. Nemom omo ye say de bia emra review nti Honorable Sanso Boache and opportunity can be via a chairman. Say now, but the left eye, if you are able to work on it, she could see again for the left eye, and we are planning to send her outside the country so that
we planning to send her out. No, Honorable Sanso Boache, a woman or just in a nice or obey or betcha hoka.
My word say nyame adom na say yetimi bibia obey bibia but akase ebia ebepe visa ebe apply for visa na eja wetin aboyen sa na wakana die but yes to na onfa mo bia mba sisi abia yemfa nshase ana say yemfa entutu nyama onfa mo bia emma but wakana visa die
what can be saba on farm mo bia mba esisia
yes
na sisia mo since situation is here no mo tumi ye adwuma ana say e wose mo tena fie na mo hwe Susan
yenko bia ishi ni sie yenko bia busiano bia ofie nti sie no a say akwese nchen ye tie na ishi ni nkran cause ayesun o complain de bui niti o sorry a questions to bisa obehuna dibim doctor ni saying o to one ma semo bisa no rebe ho timi bisa adiasa na unlike o pilibieti nti say ko am no ka say me pie frifie ono ma makope be atena ense mu okra me timi kan che experience ni bi because of the aircon in the street entry.
Okay. Now, otimi didi there.
Otimi didi kakra.
They say otimi didi because first one ye di eche na mo say otimi didi nye hwe.
Sure.
It say say the otimi didi. And na ne maame so ho te say.
Maame ne de awe won kwa I'm there on but you go switch to more racing and bear mama. Be I come. I catch you Musomunabu.
Okay. Okay, Clement, yeah, that's to say only Yakasa. Yebeja or ha. Inti actually, Yanobekasa, that's it. All right, so Clement Kobe is a brother to the victim, and maybe to wait, let me just give you a brief or summary of what he's trying to say. He's saying that Susan is okay for now. For now, she's trying to eat because before she wasn't eating. They had Honorable Asenso Boache visit and, assured that he was going to support them to the end. But since then, they have not really heard from him. They are planning to go outside and provide treatment. I'm not sure how that will happen, but maybe as a family, they are also trying to, seek for help around to see if they will be able to organize support. The child, for now, the bleeding, the gun that actually hit the head has stopped, and the situation is stable. The doctors are saying that the right eye is likely will never see, at least not for now. But the left eye, there's hope for that one. So I'm not sure. And then he's also saying that Susan wakes up in the morning, all she does is keep asking questions, maybe with tears, she'll be asking questions. Of course, if your life comes to a standstill suddenly, you will be a little worried and will want to know what your fate is looking like. So that's just a brief, and the brother who spoke to us. Let me come to the guests on this matter. Gabi.
It's a very sad situation. I don't think the young man, even though his actions, forgive my Latin this morning, was a bit stupid to carry a gun to school in the first place. I don't think he really meant to cause harm, but these young people of today, they don't like our generation. I don't know. There's I don't know if it's excessive liberties or a lack of supervision, or society and families have generally created situations where there's so much laxity. Some of the things that they do, things that they say, honestly, the way they go about it sometimes, sometimes when you complain too much, they'll tell you that you are a cake and your generation is old and all that. So you just have to keep quiet and be observing them. But this is it's a very unfortunate incident, and I'm very sorry. I apologize to the young girl's family. I can imagine what really they are going through. Who goes to school in the morning and then you expect to be called for this kind of with this kind of information, and then worst case, what you fear the most happening to your child is what is unfolding before your eyes. I mean, I don't think there's anything that I can say that will console anybody, or anything that I can say that can put matters to rest, or it's a difficult topic for me to discuss. I really apologize to the family. I really, really apologize to the family. I know the boy, I think, is in custody. The father was also invited to account for where they got their gun from. But something has to be done to support this young girl, whether it's surgery or what they are calling bullets. Is it shrapnel that is in her eyes, or is bullets? Because there are two different things. Shrapnel is the metal fragment that comes out when you fire bullets.
When you fire the bullets.
Those are metal specks.
Yes.
So is it that one that has lodged in her eyes, or it's
I think
actual
that's
bullets?
what's lodged in her eyes, yes.
Because those ones, they can be a bit difficult if they are little pieces.
If they are tiny.
And it will require specialized. So maybe now that we're on air,
goes into your eye.
Maybe now that we're on air, we can just plead with ophthalmologists and those who are in that field, specialists who can help her. If there are any NGOs in the space, if NHIS has anything that covers this and somebody wants to take it up as a special case. Unfortunately, coming from election 2024, I'm broke. Else I would have supported with something. But let's not make this in a light-hearted issue. It's a serious issue. So, I'm sorry.
So the woman you see on the screen is the mother to Susan. And, okay, maybe we can hear her a bit before I come to Lara too.
Don't you want to start a fundraising, a GoFundMe or something to
She needs to understand what
at the station, because you have a lot of...
She needs to have a proper diagnosis, because you can go and raise funds for something and it may be more severe than...
but at least...
I mean, but it will support.
Whatever you do, it's going to have to spend money.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay,
unless we have volunteers.
Let's listen to the mother, what she's saying.
So Bobani business and who your conductor say anything. And then I'm going to vanity. Let me tell you now. The fear, you come on, limited. You say, I say, yeah, Pam, come on. Can I? Now, Mumwame, Ghana for. Mumwame, Ghana for. She said, dear, and yes, I did ready, Ed. Me knew be a lamida, Miss Mumwame. Nami Bay, and yes, I come to a crown will be babu, I'm no baba fanakoyan and namana. That may you have Ghana for. No. You call her Tama. Omo aya me call her. I will find go fear. Omukoya no theatre. To omu de no call her. Near said up and doctor and catcher said, be a sin, no, and you so me pay me. Me, mamma, and papa below. Madra, you are ready. Crawford, my cosqua. Get perfect near my across it. Let me do so. Mumamio. Ready. Mumamio, got for. Mumamio, them do a biala. Mumamio, and me, I'm quite a baby, mamio. Quite a baby, mammy. I mean, you shall know. Mumamio, I'm quite a baby, mammy. Enough for. MP, don't your mamma, Mumula. When you are most solid, I'm new for the secret, the answer. I call that one to me now. And that one, John cried him on to me. You're ready, and I'm Muamio Ghana for Muame. Mumuame, I'm a bay. When you're antiquated the knee, no tenant. And don't cry that maybe I feel Ghana for one. So, Bob, I'm not very near me. Then maybe I don't know. Yes, I cried to a corner high.
All right, so that's the mother of Susan. Laretta.
This is a difficult one.
You guys cannot have breakfast this morning.
Even
before coming.
Even when you take your child to school, you are called that the child has a temperature. Not to think of that your child was minding their business and someone mistakenly discharged the fire, and she has to suffer the repercussions of that, which is beginning to seem like a lifelong defect. But in all this, even before I go further, just as we are appealing to specialists in the eye care area, I think that we also need to appeal to psychologists to reach out to this family. I mean, I may be wrong, but looking at even the setup and the way the mother is talking, she may be the hope of the family. I may be wrong.
I mean,
you know,
we're reaching out to Ibrahim Mahama. We're reaching out to Dr. Sianwe Japan. We're reaching out to Despite. Yes, Jospon, I mean. We're reaching out to Despite. Dr. KK Sapon. Is it KK Sapon?
Yeah, the specialized one.
Yes.
Is it KK Sapon?
Yeah, I think so. That's his name. I mean, we're reaching out to all those philanthropists. They've been supporting, you know, here and there.
Danny, I think we can also start something from here. I mean, they are ardent listeners and viewers of Good Morning Ghana. This may be what, because it's coming to the media, but I can imagine the harm in discipline in our schools and in our communities. It's costing lives and costing generations. I mean, you've disagreed with me on this for a number of years, but you know, I kept on telling you the way we are moving as a country, if we don't start spending a few minutes, especially when females come on this set, to create awareness for some of these issues, it will get to a point we'll have to deal with the repercussions. I mean, growing up...
I didn't disagree with you.
But you never allowed it.
No, I just feel like if there's an issue that's pressing,
because once
we'll
it has to do with females, your first inclination is to...
I don't know why you are...
Honey, don't let us divert. Look, growing up, you hear peer pressure, you hear broken homes, you hear bad parenting, bad school leadership. But one of the things that is costing us now is social media and pop culture. And it's something we really need to look at. For the kind of TikTok content, people think that just for fame, just for attention. And you see, these attention-seeking behaviors are all mental health issues. So one of the things I always say is we need to also prioritize mental health in this country. And when we talk about mental, it's not just people going, it's not the psychiatric bit of it fundamentally, the psychological bit of it. I mean, temporary insanity, people's emotions. There are a lot of people walking around with psychotic disorders.
I spoke with the president of NAGRAS last week on Good Afternoon Ghana.
Yes.
And he actually said that it's become pressing that we have to bring, I'm talking about Angel Kabono, and he said we have to bring corporal punishment back into the schools.
I agree.
Because it is creating a problem. It is creating a problem.
I disagree.
He thinks that, you know, because we sign on to a lot of charters, getting all kinds of aids from international, you know, donors, we commit ourselves to certain conditions that contribute to the corrupting our society, including the children in school. And it's very important that we bring corporal punishment back into the schools.
I'm not
Have you seen the video?
I'm not too of the student hitting the teacher.
Is corporal punishment only beating? The other...
No, it's corporal punishment. They didn't say beating. It's corporal punishment.
So if it was a beating that was abusive,
the other thing... No, what I say is just limiting it to just that, maybe in the context of what he's defining. I'm not too familiar with the curriculum for our teacher colleges of education or then training colleges. But I want to believe they do some level of psychology or child psychology or guidance and counseling. And that's one area we should be looking at too in our schools. They exist, yes, but are they effective?
So for you, and when it's a guidance and counseling.
It's a litany of issues.
And you don't think punishment is one of the solutions?
I keep on telling you that if we want to be very blunt, we've gotten to a point in the world that children are raising children. That's where we've gotten to. And it ties into all the things we are seeing on social media. It ties into the influence of pop culture. And we need to look at this. We can be holding the different issues of it, but we need a holistic approach.
But I don't know why you're saying that you don't support, bringing back corporal punishment to the schools when you know that it falls under pop culture. This same pop culture is why we're saying that, okay, then don't beat our children in school. That's all part of pop culture. Is that not what we're copying from? So if you bring back the yes.
So something has to give.
Yes, because the pop culture, it has a lot of branches. And part of it is removing corporal punishment from the schools.
I think that there are different approaches to handling children. All children are not the same. Right. There are some children that you speak to, like my children and my nephews. You sit down and talk to them. They will listen. Some need to be threatened. Some need to be beaten. Some need to be suspended. So we also need to look at the different approaches to it. It may be overwhelming for teachers based on the numbers and all that, but at the end of the day, we need a holistic approach to this. And the first point of tackling these things is social media and allowing phones in schools. Someone may say it's a cake, but allowing phones in schools, I think it's something that we need to look at, because teachers will not have control over what the children access on those mobile devices in school. I remember, I don't know about Gabi's time, but I remember when I was in secondary school, there was a phone booth that you go and queue and call your parents. I mean, it was quite a difficult one. If you also had like a teacher friend or something, they will make the call for you, and that's also like guided. But now, children are in school and it's like they're at home. You know? Because sometimes I cringe when I see happenings in schools on social media. Sometimes I need to pinch myself to know that, oh, okay, that wasn't the time that you were there. Because
I've always been against Eslawusu's attempt, or I don't know if she succeeded in allowing for phones in school. She said she was going to allow. I'm not sure how far that policy went. When I heard it, I was very...
That? When did you hear that?
Oh, I can research. It's very easy. It's very easy. You go ahead. She actually said it.
No, you find yourself in an era where you are building, people are doing ICT and those things, but there are labs and other things that they have access to those. I remember we had a lab on top of the assembly hall. I don't know if you were seeing during your time. There was a computer lab on top of the assembly. Come again?
We had it at 2019.
Yeah,
January 2019.
Our numbers were huge, so we moved to the
Ghana
assembly for
Web.
some time and all that.
Ban
They were
on mobile
renovating
phones.
the library.
Ban on mobile phones in SHS should be lifted. Also, this is January 15, 2019. Ghana Web. Smartphones for all. This one is for all citizens.
Phones in schools. It's a very debatable issue, because on one hand, you can say that because these days mobile phones have
digital,
become so
they need to research and all that.
You have to research.
Yeah, but you see,
all that. But then there are also because of the social applications on it.
We're hiding under. I think we're hiding under the advent of technology, and saying that because of technology now we have to allow our children. You go by the times when you think you have the capacity to control. If you do not have the capacity to control, I think you shouldn't even try it. Because the little things that we have to control, we have not even been able to do it. Yet we want to jump into technology and say, oh, all the children now can use mobile phones.
Yes,
in
they can
schools.
use mobile phones, but how regulated is that?
Exactly. So then let's set a very strict regulation in terms of what allowing children, using mobile phones in school. Maybe times that they have to use it. Maybe learning hours they can even use it in class.
But
did the education forum that was held consider all these things?
Laptop,
have you seen the report from it? There was an education forum, right?
Yes.
Did it consider?
You mean the National Economic Forum?
No, it was I thought it was an education. I thought I read something about
an
there
was an education forum.
Have you seen the report from it?
It was focused a lot more on infrastructure and then education in terms of the inputs, not necessarily kids having access to mobile phones.
I think we need to look at, because at the end of the day, if we are putting all this infrastructure, we are putting all these input, we are upgrading teachers. That's why it has to be a continuum.
But I think that's why all governments are engaging in this laptop, one child, one laptop policy. Right.
No, but
so that you minimize this on one hand.
But because
I'm
those tablets,
but I'm sure mobile phone will feature in somewhere.
No, but Annie,
but they sneak it inside
most
the
of us. Most of us give devices.
Dialogue.
Most of us give devices to our children, right? Right now, I'm having a battle with one of them that they are yet to be. You get a phone when you are 13, but now one is 9, one is 10. They are pushing for a phone. You need to insist that that is not the age that you get a phone. But they have tablets that are regulated. I tie their accounts to my account. So any app that they want to reach, I get a notification. There are certain,
I was actually coming
they can't
to
do
that,
downloads.
where some parents are able to control.
They can't download. It was even my older son, and I call him a son because I mean in Gonja culture, your sister's son is your son. You know, there's nothing like nephew. My 14-year-old son was actually the one telling me that I was complaining about the little ones because every week I have to clear their devices because somehow they find a way to download things and he was telling me that there's an app that can lock everything. And I made him put it on it. So if you are going to give them these devices, then you have to be very extra careful.
And you know about this app. So you know about this app that can lock everything.
One day I picked a tablet and there was a password on it. I made him write the password down. The next moment, it was a pattern. It's like they also like to explore, which is fantastic. But because at the ages that they find themselves in, they don't know the difference between right and wrong. They're excited by things they see and the fascination these things bring.
Okay.
They are not able to decipher between what is good and what, and that is where the guidance comes in. That is where the regulation comes in. But one thing that I think we should also be checking, like I said, the fundamental thing is social media. The kind of content we encourage. And it's like you post on your handle and someone just gets up. They don't know you. They probably wouldn't even be able to approach you when they see you. They'll just come and insult you.
Of late, there's very
and now it's like you go onto social media and it's all bad language. Look, I used to complain about people texting in shorthand. You know how people use abbreviations? So I had a problem with that. I had a cousin go like, why are you so serious? So
I get that.
Why
I get
can't
that
you type in?
almost all the time.
So why can't you also type in full? In these days of
if you want my attention, type in full.
In these days of predictive text and all that, you can't type in full. And now we are complaining about people writing return back and writing bad English. You know, so all these things we just need to be deliberate about them. We have the systems, we have the institutions to deal with some of these. And I think we just need to strengthen them and also all be involved. Because the culture where now is like you are the one who has been given the duty to deal with it. I think it's something we also need to look at. We are all part of it. It takes a lot of grace now to bring up children.
So those who've just joined, we just spoke with Clement Kobe, who is a brother to Susan, the victim of the SDA shooting, and now she's almost losing her sight. The mother, obviously, we played the video. She's seeking help and asking everybody that can come on board. I'm sure she can't even put her thoughts together. She's just calling everybody that thinks that they can help. They should come on board to support the family because they are planning to take her out for treatment. A child of her age, I'm sure she's holding so much fear as to whether or not she's now going to go blind. I mean, if you think about it.
But they should also let her keep her hands off her face because that's also
infections.
going to get her infected.
Yeah.
But you see, that's what we lack in this country, first aid. We just lack knowledge on first aid.
And you know, sometimes the way the first encounter can complicate your issue.
Yes.
Even.
No. Some basic knowledge that can save
I think
situations.
you need to rehash the appeal to the specialists and the psychologists so that they can
So specialists,
I mean,
Bantama,
that environment have quite good facilities and good medical.
The Bantama area?
Yeah, it's part of the Kumasi metropolis. I mean, if you are moving from Accra to another place that has like Komfanoche should have specialists and psychologists who can.
But for them to have gone for treatment, first treatment from Komfanoche, and they're still thinking of going outside, it means that Komfanoche.
No, but you see, don't also let us conclude because the gentleman couldn't explain what the diagnosis. He said they told the Honorable Asensu everything. So it will also be good to get. Definitely, it will be documented to get whatever it is, so that
Right.
proper
We'll
approach can
seek
be
for more-
provided. I think you need to rehash the appeal and appeal to the specialists and those who can help fund to support to.
So to everybody
go to
that's
the-
watching, if you have any
Ghana
specialists around you,
Ophthalmologist Association.
Oh, we have an ophthalmologist association.
They should, don't they?
We have a psychologist association too.
Yeah, after that one,
They should take it up, special project.
So if you have connection or network to any of these associations and persons who also are very much known within their philanthropic activities, let us know so that we can push this to them for help. Susan really needs help at this, and it seems to be emergency. It seems to be an emergency. Let's take a breather. When we come back, we'll delve into another, heartbreaking situation in Boku. We'll be back shortly.
Show boy in the sun, I'm de Mujashi, actually free this and so I made dream because of woman so move from Uncle Madame. So, Madame, Mehuna dear, and Madame say, I'm Mehuna dear, and I'm saying, yes, I'm my black wool.
Afra. Uhuna tree and Uhuna kit to be an answer say. Is it what then? Uhuna dear.
Intimate class. And I'm a bad missy and change me back in China. Besi me terrace. And to boy ne a tone could with the entire mamma and woman and I could with our boys.
Not math teacher our class. Any two crown. Teach anyone.
Well, they shut the excellence. Saturn no bulletin, she not boy na bulletin national bottom. Until I know more the pen and an nation to wear some of the ball, no matter.
Napa nako bobi.
Tana no mo ye ho se me inform tina me meeting baby. Tin baby no. Mbo break time ti boy we ka se me fa me phone man. Won twa bet. Ana me de man no. No we twa o se me need data. Me need data no so le call. So call them de meeting too we say. The minute to a minimum, dear, now boys need a 20 year anymore. Now boy, night 20 and girls, being boy, 80 anymore. Second dex means minim. Now, I made the material to say, minim, dear, no catch a boy. It made me pajama saying, net 22.
Who are you? Who are you? Charlie, I'll be you from the future. Who doesn't sleep on that slice of bread called mattress anymore? Don some slippers, then follow me. It is part of the mattress we did the front there. Yeah? That'll be the mattress where the dead go.
Wait, what are you doing? Wow! No damage at all.
Not only durable, but also super comfortable. Come on, try it.
Nothing day like Ash Foam. Enjoy full body support and unparalleled comfort for a restful sleep.
Don't forget your keys.
Get the premium sleep experience with mattresses from Ash Foam. Visit any of our showrooms nationwide or at ashfoam.com.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, Asamo.
Me didn't tum. Mr. Femi Kakalika, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Femi once now.
Hey, is that you?
Improve car.
Yeah. Captain,
Press K to double the action. Maybe it's Sasso spray. Mr. Finish Sasso Quell. Yeah, go my Sasso.
Sasso, come tom preko. Fire pomudi ni agobi Ghana fueni age efise ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice me de gumi jollof mu me misti wa hodoma emane dance
Stanley, the barbecue the go on.
Sankofa natural spices and one you use 100% natural. Said the happen.
Adofo, mamu huge mistake. Sankofa natural spices. FDA
ejodi nkratu yatu.
You the answer to my prayer. You with me everywhere. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need tonight. Give me shelter from the rain. You breathe life in me again. You're my angel, miracle. You're all I need to know. Tonight,
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Chocolate Toothpaste, Sankofa.
Yenchi, Kel Chocolate Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printers. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
NGO Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. NGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
Unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Oh, Mr. Yamfani come and me buru.
Mami go buru. Don't ya tell me ko bra. Mumi Yamfani ko Dr. Ban ho. Dr. Ban o ya de. Bra, se ba no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow Dr. Ban o ye.
Hey, say me kwada meka. Oh no mpemu nimdi ono na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra any Kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire o.
Welcome back to Good Morning Ghana. We're still on issues and another heartbreaking, like I said before, earlier, issue that's bedeviling the country is the Boku crisis that is still raging on. Yesterday, we woke up to a very bad development where we were told that, 2 police officers were shot. And, on the back of that, the police also released a statement and okay, some of you are sending me messages based on the shooting incident in the SDA school. Please just let it come thick and fast. We want help, we want support for the family. So just in case you want to help or you have links to, who do we say, psychologists and who?
Ophthalmologist.
And the ophthalmologist as well. If you have, some help or connection to people like that, please let us know so we can connect them to their family. Willing to help. Let us know, so we'll connect them to the family. Now, one headline from Tamale News Agency that we also saw this morning, apart from the police officers that were killed, is one person believed to be, I'm sure the team put it up good, one person believed to be a Mamprugu by tribe has been killed by the Kusasi bandit just an hour ago at the outskirts of Binduri, a farming community in Boku. The perpetrators further set fire to the victim's body and motorbike. Police personnel are yet to reach the area. Sources, Tamale News Agency, I don't know which agency that is, but the pictures are there, and I'm sure the police will investigate this development as well. And that's another horrific, development that we saw with this updates from Boku. Now, police on the manhunt to arrest robbers who shot 2 police officers in the Upper East region. The Ghana Police Service is on a manhunt to identify and arrest robbers who shot 2 police men today, 13th of April 2025, at the Poyamiria at the outskirts of Binduri in the Upper East region. Preliminary investigation has established that the deceased officers were in mufti, that's plain clothes, and on the other private motorbike traveling from Bongo to Binduri when they were attacked and their motorbike taken away. The name of the officer has been withheld as efforts are underway to properly notify families in line with customs and tradition. The police administration wishes to express their deepest condolences to the bereaved family and commander, as well as all officers and men in the region. Our hearts and prayers are with you. We would like to assure the general public that the perpetrators of the heinous crime will be arrested and brought to face justice, and we will surely get them. It's signed by Grace Ansakrofe, Assistant Commissioner of Ghana Police Service, Director, Public Affairs. Now, there was also a video, of the IGP's vehicle being shot at in Boku. So my question really is, the Boku situation, is it really tribal, or there's something amiss that we are not really getting, right? Let me come to the guests. The videos are there. I'm sure the producers will put it up as and when. No, Lara, too. Let me start with you at this point. You know, maybe you will understand.
It looks like today you just decided to pick depressing topics to just what a Monday. Can you just the police statement?
I watched an interview where the guest said, "You are asking me a very unfair question." Then I said, "Questions are not supposed to be fair to you guests."
I think topics should be fair. These topics are very unfair for a Monday morning.
Sorry.
It's very depressing.
I'm sorry, but that's what we're faced with.
The police statement. Before I even go into...
Okay, so the video on your screen is the IGP's vehicle that we're told was shot into.
That's just another... The police statement, did they mention that the policemen were riding on their private bike from what? From Bongo?
They were in Mufti.
Yes.
Yes, he says that preliminary investigation has established that the deceased officers were in Mufti. I'm sorry I didn't serve with the statement today. On their private motorbikes traveling from Bongo to Binduri.
Honey,
when they were attacked.
If you know the area well, and with all that has been happening, why would anybody want to ride from Bongo to Binduri? I don't know if there's a shortcut, but what I know is that it's about almost 2 hours. It's about 80-something kilometers from Bongo to Binduri. But be as it may, this is an issue that is very sensitive, and the little research and talking to people who are been around longer than some of us, the intensification of this conflict is as old as Ghana, because apparently it intensified in 1957. So it's gone on for a while. For someone of northern descent, I worry, because one of the things that has kept the North underdeveloped is conflicts. In recent times, I mean not so recent, but you remember the war in 1994, 1995. Apparently there was even one in 1981. Then, not long ago, the Dagbon crisis. The allocation that comes to your region, a chunk of it goes to taking care of security personnel. What saddens me most is the fact that apart from having two sides in this conflict, we're all Ghanaians. But in the run-up to the 2024 election, I remember on a couple of times on other platforms, I was pleading with politicians within that enclave to come together and see to the end of this. How comfortable are you as an MP? How comfortable are you as an appointee? Yet you can't go to your hometown. Nothing happens there. And I've always said, Boku is a very strategic town because of where it finds itself.
You asked a question earlier about movement from what?
Bongo to Binduri.
And you're wondering why anyone would want to travel on that road.
I mean,
why did you ask that question?
It's the distance. If you are riding, it's
what's the distance like? 2 kilometers?
About 80-something kilometers. 89 or so. I may be wrong.
On a motorbike,
it's a little over 80 kilometers.
Okay, so what you're
on a motorbike, you can do like an hour 45 minutes, an hour 55, so almost 2 hours.
Then it means you should be taking rest. Maybe.
I don't know. No. I mean, 2 hours you think is not, but riding in such a zone
Do the Boku residents themselves, do they ride that way on that?
Oh,
on that
you know, motorbikes are the most convenient in the northern sector. So that's why I'm asking. Probably there's a shortcut being there around the time that they are there. But I also think that yesterday there were a lot of audios that were going, moving around, and there was one that I heard one of the policemen saying, I mean, if it's really from them these days, you can't be too sure. But it's like, even when they want food, they have to beg for the food to be sold. And I was wondering, a policeman who has been moved from wherever he's coming from, most of them are not indigents, have to go and beg to buy food in Boku Township, some of those things. And I mean, 2 days after the IGP goes into an area, this is happening. From November till now, 300 people have died. Those who have been maimed or hurt, you can't imagine. And in all this, I worry about the women and children. It's the future of the youth and the children in that area that is in the balance now. So I think that indigent is a sensitive topic. It's emotive. But I think it's traveled a while. And the mistake of making those comments, because when you listen to the Kusau youth, they are referring to promises that were made to them in the run-up to the election. You know, so I think that it has come to the point, Otumfo may go in, security agencies may, but if the people are not ready to give peace a chance, this is how it will continue to be. And it affects everyone.
If the people are not ready to give peace a chance, what do they want to do? They want us to leave the
what
place
I'm
for
saying
them,
is
so
you can put, they want us to do what?
Because now, it's moved from just two factions against each other or at each other's throats to now attacking the state. To kill a police officer is an attack on the state.
Honey, you see, when it comes to conflict and those things, because the fallouts don't go to a particular person, the people dying, do you know their political inclination? You don't know, right? But for an IGP to go in, and this happens after 2 days, and the Kusau people referring to comments that His Excellency the President made, comments that the parliamentary candidates, now MPs, made. I think that it's high time they stop releasing statements and face the issues.
Okay, Laura too. I'm sorry, Gabi.
The Boku issue is a very, very complex issue. It's one that, as she mentioned, travels deep into history from the 17th century, thereabouts, when the Nairi first invited the Mampusis to come and stand guard to protect trade routes. And with time, these Mampusi princes or warriors were given chieftaincy titles. Again, with time, that whole area was predominantly Kusasis, if you look into their history. And with coming into the existence of colonization and how the British administered that enclave, that area, where, you know, for the British, they like more formalized structures. So they operated through the chieftaincy system. And it appeared that the Mampusis, through their lineage and their existence, understood chieftaincy issues more than the Kusasi, because the Kusasis had a different form of leadership system, where for them leadership was vexed in a council of elders, whereas the Mampusis had a chief. And so for the British, the easiest thing for them to do was to cluster all the various tribes beneath Mampusi. And that kind of system, what it does is that it brings a certain tribe into a superiority context and subverts others. But here's a case where the Kusatis are the majority in the area. So when political partisan activity started under Kwame Nkrumah's CPP and the Northern People's Party, these tribes, with what had happened with the Mamprisis, you see, when the Mamprisis took over leadership in that area, a lot of their people had access to formal education, they got the good jobs and stuff, and then the other tribes didn't have those benefits, right? So the few who got educated, the elites, who now became the educated elite, now formed groups, youth groups, to push their narrative, their agenda. In 1957, interestingly, when that thing happened, the then Boku Naba, who was a Mampusi, and let me also add this. See, the Boku chieftaincy thing is not like one that you inherit by lineage. Mm-hmm. It's elected by the chieftains. So the issue is the chieftains decide, but the thing also is that the Kusasis have more majority chieftains than the Mampusis. So it has now become a contentious issue of which tribe should hold the Boku skin. Is it one based on majority inhabitants in the area, or is it one that because of how political administration was structured gave them dominance? And unfortunately, these kind of things, societal groupings and architecture, artificial architecture, when it's created, it has remnant effects. Because as history travels downwards, as culture is transcended down to generations, other aspects of issues are brought into it. And so it makes the whole context of addressing an enskinment issue one that, with the least provocation, will start passions and ignite flames. So from that time to Nkrumah's time, when they got involved in CPP activism, another time Kusasis voted massively for CPP. But the Kusasi who should have been the Boku Naba declined to allow himself to be, he declined to put himself up to be voted to become Boku Naba. So a Mampusi got in there. Then the Nkrumah government decided to set up a commission, I think it was called the Afari Commission, to try and resolve this issue, because it was something that has pre-colonial antecedents. Yes. And the report favored the Kusasis, but the Mampusis took the whole issue to court and then
overturned.
Then they also penetrated the political system again to the military governments. So under the NLC, they got the NLC to issue an NLC decree, which now made their candidate Boku Naba. When the PNDC came, another system also took over, and in this case, they now had two chiefs. And so it wasn't just an issue of who becomes the chief. It is about how in that society, from this colonial era, as these decisions and as these activities are taking place, how it conscientizes people and it tries to make a tribe which has majority numbers subservient to another tribe, which this tribe believes that they were here first. So it's a very complicated issue. You know, I was telling her when we came.
Let me show you. Just let me show you. Tabi, you see, when it comes to some of these issues, the history, when you try to go into it like that, can complicate the issues, because history usually is subjective from the perspective of the person giving it. You know, when you come into, let's say you go to Savannah, you go to the Gonja Traditional Council, you go to the Dagbon Traditional Council, you go to the Mampugu Traditional Council. There's a unitary order, so the Nairi or the Yegbunra or the Yana sits at the top. and there are different levels. But when you go into Kusao tradition, they are syphilis. They don't subscribe to the unitary thing. So when you start bringing in all these history,
but that's the point I'm making. That it is just one aspect. That is just one aspect of the issue.
That's what I'm saying.
What you've described is just one leg of the issue.
That's what I'm saying. So
the
when
Boku crisis has multiple angles. You see, it's like a cooking pot with different spices and different meats.
It's
that
a complex
that has now made the whole soup.
So if you now start picking it up,
so
when there's supposed to be Otunfo dealing with it,
no,
I know you wrote
let me
plenty
make my
history,
point.
but
let me
please
make
be
my
guided.
Point. Let me make my point. So the point I'm making is this: because of the history that has brought this issue here, and how sensitive the people of Boku are. And I'm recognizing the sensitivity of this because me sitting in Accra, who has no relationship to any Boku person or anybody or anything. Last week, Honorable Ayariga issued a statement, and I saw it on my feed. And now, when I see anything government or a party person that should be shared, I share, because they were complaining that I don't share. So now I share everything. Annie? First post, shame on you. Then in my inbox, 3 people, because of the Pan-African TV I do, I have quite a bit of a northern following. And so I feigned ignorance, like I didn't know where they were coming from on the issue. And then I'm disappointed in you. How can you be sharing this thing? Do you know what is going on in Boku? So I pretended I was like, okay, I don't know because I'm from the south, I'm from the coastal area. So unless you tell me what is going on in Boku before I'll be able to. But I just shared Anabel's statement. So why are people attacking me? And they gave me a whole rundown, and I didn't hold it against them, even though I could see that there was anger in them. You see, and that's the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that this issue has traveled beyond generations. So it is a very complex matter. There are scientific coming in. The first time, even I, on the platform, called for the Asantini to intervene, was one program on TV3 in 2020, when that fight erupted. Because the issue is so dicey that, Annie, can you believe that in their history, a lady who decides to choose between 3 men and a husband can incite a conflict? The lyrics to a song can incite a conflict. Very trivial, little things can spark flames. So it tells you that the issue, even though elements in it have taken political angles, when you get your point, you speak. So even though people have politicized the issue, it goes beyond the politics. It is one that whole society has been deconstructed. And the Asantini coming is important because they are now able, together with historians, anthropologists, and prominent people. But you see, in our constitution, in our rules, it's believed that when there's a crisis like this, it's the regional House of Chiefs that should settle the matter, or the National House of Chiefs. And in this case, political solution has not helped. Regional solutions has not helped. National solutions has not helped. Okay? And we are carrying a 300-year-old problem into the 21st century. So it's an issue of applying what was the KPIs in addressing the Dagbon issue, even though these two systems are a bit different. What was the KPI in addressing the Alavanyo Nkonya crisis? You see? And how do we address? So there's a whole deconstruction that has to happen in this society. And it's such a touchy issue that even when you tell them that, but there are security men there who are supposed to be promoting peace and stuff. And would you believe that if police people have to feed the people in their battalion and they go to markets to shop, the quantum of food that they go to the market to go and buy to come and feed their people is a problem for the traders because they feel like they bought all the food off the market. This mistrust, it won't help anybody. But moving forward,
you know, last week there was a situation where a police officer accidentally shot someone, and that also was a problem within the Kusasis. And apparently the person who was shot comes from one of their chief's palace or chief's homes or something, a son of one of the chiefs.
Gates or something.
Yes, I'm not so sure of the name. So that's also, so when I heard the 2 police officers shot, immediately
armed robbers.
I thought, look, I didn't think armed robbery, I thought it was a retaliatory act. That's what I thought, allegedly, and just in case. I thought straight away that's what's happening.
Do you think this is armed robbery?
So at this point,
I don't think
it's armed robbery?
What were they robbing them of? Motorbikes?
They didn't bet somebody. They bet somebody with a motorbike.
They said they met them and they shot them.
There was a video that they bent somebody with a motorbike. I don't know who that person was, but there was a video trending that somebody was bent on a motorbike.
Yes, that's what I read on the screen.
Yeah.
We're told that the person is Kusasi.
And you know, last week also, another group of youth went to burn the police commander's house.
Was it the police commander's house or the military barracks?
It was a police barracks.
Yeah. The military barracks.
It was military barracks.
No, but you see,
so
in all these years,
infiltrated my inbox told me that the municipal police commander's house was also set ablaze.
And then they set the
so
majority
in all
leader's
this,
house
Annie, there's one clarification I'm seeking.
Hassan Ayariga and Adib Sani, who is security analyst, and Hassan Ayariga actually told me that they sense political angles to the recent happenings. The intel they have, I think they have to provide it as soon as possible. Because this is just so strange.
But
almost everybody
moving
forward. This has been going on for a long time.
Forward. I've not said my time. Moving forward. Moving forward. First of all, the politicians have to take a back step out of this whole thing, because they are being used by people who are trying to push a whole tribal superiority issue. So even though some of those people have become politicians and all that, I think that the way forward is to move those people out. I'm sure the Boku community and the Upper East or Upper West?
It's Upper East.
Upper East. They have a lot of prominent statesmen, prominent citizens who can lead a peace, a concerted peace effort amongst these tribes. Again, Annie, I think that looking at the amount of weapons that has found its way into Boku, all sides, first of all, must agree that they have to have mediation. They have to have mediation and peace talks, and agree to a program that comes and clears all those weapons out of Boku. That should be the first step to de-weaponize Boku, tighten the security at the borders. Because you see, whenever there's armed conflict, I have one issue with war entrepreneurs. All they need is a flame. And then they'll come and incite so that they can sell weapons.
I have just one message. I think for all media platforms. I think we should also start, promoting positive pictures of Boku, the Kusaus and the Mampusis. We should do that so that it tweaks their minds that apart from the bloodshed and the gunshots and everything we're doing, there's still that beautiful part that we want to see today. Like we miss it. Was
it on Good Afternoon Ghana that you spoke to APC Hassan Ayariga, and he said, I think one parent was a Mampusi and one parent was a Kusau also. So there are a lot of people, intermarriages and all that. But in all this, one of the things we also need to worry about is, I may not be privy, but since when? The fights will erupt, it will escalate, but it was usually between the people of Boku. But when did they start that they started killing security men and attacking the security? What is the issue there?
They don't want them there. They don't want the security there.
But why? They are a state on their own.
They're not a state on their own. They think they can solve the problem, but the problem is also not solving. So that's why I'm saying that Asante Hene's own, in fact, they should impressed on assigning to start working quickly because
have we, in
what
this
he's
whole,
doing is very important.
In this
a very
whole
important
attempt
exercise.
to solve the problem, have they included alternative conflict resolution experts?
I don't know.
Because it's not just about being a chief. And it's not just about being a royal.
No, it's not a lot of.
It's not just about being a party to the conflict.
This is not like we don't have a lot of time here, but if we speak to those who've lived, look, we've had a lot of prominent people write. You've had legal people who've represented both places write. There's people have done papers, people have done teasers, and there's a lot of information on this.
So now you agree that history is not subjective because somebody has done research on it.
Listen, Gabi, that's
or
why
because
I
was narrating it.
It's from the perspective of the people that wrote those narratives. But at the end of the day, it comes to the people involved. It comes to the indigents.
Yes, but it gets to a point. It gets to a point where when that's why I said bring corporal punishment to schools. You cannot have students in class and you tell them do A, do B,
so
do
what
C,
are you going to do?
And they stop,
you are going to draw security and leave them to do what they want to do.
You now force them to do it, and
how are you going to force people to do things that they can't do?
Why?
You haven't heard the saying that you can force a horse to the riverside, but you can't force it to drink water.
So what's your point?
No, what I'm saying is, you see,
Boku residents.
Listen. What I'm saying
the
is
rules
the advocacy
of the country.
Listen, this has been going on for
I can
before
understand,
that,
but it looks
and
like because
it intensified in 1957.
You get it? Political players are winning and are gaining from this. They are pretending they can solve.
It's not only
it gets to
there's a whole
at a point. Sometimes I go like, look,
that's what I'm
you
saying.
forgot. I mentioned that we're spending 80 million cedis a month on keeping the peace in Boku. As for now, I don't know how much the NDC is spending on Boku.
Peace in these areas. It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And you see, the other thing too is that's what I'm saying is, look, let's also appeal, looking at the strategic nature of Boku too. It doesn't, at the end of it, if it doesn't get solved, it doesn't affect only Boku because they are on borders. And you know how insurgents and all those threats have been gradually becoming an issue. The moment arms get into a place, it's a difficult thing to get them out.
Allow me to
so
do
in
this.
trying to do all the things that the state wants to do, let's appeal to the people
resolving
of
the tribal conflicts
lead
over
this.
land matters requires a long-term commitment to dialogue, negotiation, and cooperation. The military of the police cannot be used to resolve the Boku conflict and impose peace. We need to understand the root cause of the conflict, engage with local stakeholders, and address underlying issues and work towards finding mutually beneficial solutions and that respects the rights and interests of all parties involved. The policemen killed in line of duty shows the complicated nature of the Boku tribal conflict, and tact is needed. Thank you. Mark from USA. I'm grateful. East Legon Hills, Sam Kelly says that I think Boku crisis requires we all, as Ghanaians, adhere to the truth and allow the laws of the country to work. Peace cannot exist in a vacuum. Peace thrives in the soils of justice. And if there is a court ruling as to who should be the rightful chief of the traditional area, why are we not allowing, are we not willing to obey the orders of the court and enforce the rulings? Looking for solutions outside the rule of law can very often be problematic. Government should sit down with all eminent chiefs and prioritize citizens of the area to agree to the implementation of orders of the courts. Whosoever decides to go to the contrary can be seen in the deviance and dealt with accordingly. Okay, so my daughter is a consultant.
On the 19th of April, the Core Business Forum is happening live, and that is why GEA is repping. Are you a business about starting, or you are thinking of growing a business, you are thinking of beginning something? GEA is passionate about transforming and empowering businesses to thrive.
The forum offers an opportunity for captains of industries to have interaction with CEOs of banks, for us to understand and listen to get a sense of what their business needs are. I will be coming there as the MD of the largest bank with a team of professionals who will be on hand to listen to you and give you innovative solutions to support your businesses.
At National Investment Bank PLC, our presence at this year's fair is not only to talk, but to invest in indigenous people and real growth.
This is not just another conference. This is a launchpad for transformation. We are hoping to see you at the Korea Business Forum to understand your business and know how we can help you through our PFIs.
Every great relationship starts with a conversation. The Korea Business Forum is an avenue where we can have those conversations meaningfully. Join us. Let's have an insightful discussion. CBG, we stand with